The opening round of the 2023 Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship Five Nations Trophy is held at Lydden Hill in Kent. It is time for the Supernational final. It sees Slamir Volok starting on pole position with Magic Floorshak alongside him, and then Dave Van Beers on the outside of the front row. Phil Chicken in his Super 1600 C2 is at the second row of the grid, right at the very back. So drivers then ready, lined up on the grid to go. All eyes to the left-hand side of your screen. Wait for the green lights to come on. Long hold for the drivers, green light and go. Slamir Volok gets away well, not bad from Van Beers on the outside in his Clio as they head down in towards the first corner. But Volok away and already into a commanding lead by the first Talladega turn. Magic Floorshak then, you can see him sitting there in that Ford Fiesta in third place, making his debut in the Supernational class here this weekend. Great to see him out in the Fiesta, but Phil Chicken really trying to get himself involved in the action to see whether he can get himself in with contention for a podium finish. Through the left-hander we go of the Devil's Elbow. Phil there really pushing the envelope in that Citroen C2. Slamir Volok likewise pushing the limits of those tyres and brakes in his BMW M3. Was looking really close to locking up the front of that car as he went into the North Bend. Now Van Beers is coming under pressure from Magic after a tricky start to the Polish driver's race. He has now got it all over the back of Van Beers. Can he mount a challenge and try an attack for second place? Let's see, of course, with the Joker laps. That could prove to be an interesting catalyst, because if Magic feels he's being held up, he may Joker at the end of this lap to try and get himself ahead of Van Beers, should he not be able to find his way through over the remainder of this tour. Over the jump we go then. There is Van Beers in second place, followed by Magic, followed by Phil Chicken, who's some way adrift of this pair at the moment. Up the Devil's Elbow, or up the left-hander of the Devil's Elbow we go. There is the locking up from Slamir Volok, as I was talking about, so really is trying to push on with everything he can. You can see here Van Beers coming to pressure from Magic though. On the outside we go. They're 2 by 2. No racing room given here, boys, and surely Magic's going to peel into the Joker. No, he doesn't. He carries on the normal lap, so this is going to be a brilliant scrap next time around between Van Beers and between Magic Floorshak then. Across the timing line we go in towards the first corner. So Van Beers then continues on in second place, but Magic is looking really strong, especially in that second and third sector as we go through the right and then the left and over the jump once more. Oh, Floorshak there just a little bit wide. That's cost him a touch of time as they come out of the jump. You can see the gravel that's all been kicked over to the inside of the circuit there as well. So if you just misjudge that jump ever so slightly, you can push you off to the gravel and really cost you a fair amount of time. And speaking of costing you time, I do think that Magic may have been better off jokering last time around. I know it's a battle that he wants to be involved in, and it's great for us as spectators here watching this race, but still, I do wonder whether that may have cost him time. He jokers now then at the end of this lap, so let's see how this plays out here for Magic. Phil Chicken in fourth place also follows him through, so the top two have not yet made their joker. So Slamir Volok and Dave Van Beers yet to joker in this race. Third and fourth place of Magic and then Chicken have now jokered. So over the jump we go with Slamir Volok. He is looking so commandingly comfortable in this race, isn't he? Into that Devil's Elbow he goes, and he is just looking absolutely brilliant. There is Van Beers in P2. Now you wonder what it's going to be like here in terms of the pace difference between himself and Magic in second and third. There is Volok really leaning on the outside of that curve as he comes down in towards the paddock bend once more. Very long wheelbase car, not so good at the tight and twisty circuits, perhaps a little bit hindered here in the Joker there for him as well, but no such dramas for Volok as he comes through the final series of corners. This is going to be really close between himself and Magic as they come to the timing line once again, ready to start another lap. Here we go with Magic on the inside, Van Beers on the outside, and Magic is able to overhaul Dave Van Beers, so a clear lap then for Magic has proven to be exactly the tonic that he needed, and he now comes through in second place towards the jump once again. So Van Beers is now the man on the attack instead of having to keep a watching brief on his mirrors as they go over the jump into the Devil's Elbow, and Magic is going to have to use every ounce of talent and skill and determination that he has to hold on to this second place, because you can guarantee that Van Beers, if he's got an opportunity, will try and pounce. Magic there taking a tighter defensive line into that North Bend. I wonder where that may just have cost him a tenth or two. No such problems though for Slamir Volek as he comes across the timing line to start the last lap here in this Supernational final. So there's only one more lap remaining between second and third, and it looks like Magic has been able to pull out even more of an advantage now over Dave Van Beers in this second place battle. So through Talladega we go. You can see the traction on that Fiesta looking incredibly strong, especially on the dirt there. Van Beers looking pretty handy on the brakes though, and let's see whether Van Beers is going to be able to invent something. Into the left-hander of the Devil's Elbow we go. Slightly wide there for Magic as we watch on board here with this drone shot. Slamir Volek's out a little bit wide into the North Bend hairpin, but he has got, well, basically he's in a different postcode compared to everybody else. Second and third still remaining as they are as we come down into the bottom part of the circuit. What a commanding drive this has been from Slamir Volek. He wins the Supernational final for round one at Lydden Hill. It is going to be Magic Florjak then who comes across the line to take second place after a superb Joker strategy from Dave Van Beers. Phil Chicken in his Super 1600. Citroen C2 will come home in fourth place and be the last of the classified runners. But what a great Supernational final. What a superlative drive from Slamir Volek as well. The number 60 finishes as number one at the end of the round one final. And a great drive also from Magic Florjak and Dave Van Beers to complete the podium.